This month, by request from Brandon7482, we're doing a spotlight on the Egyptian god Bes, and he's bringing along a friend, Tawret. So let's explore. Bes is often referred to as a household god, but what that really means is that he could be found everywhere, from the houses of ordinary Egyptian peasants to royal palaces. Images of Bes have been found in Nubia and even the Levant, which is modern Israel, Palestine, and Syria. Bes typically appears with a dwarf body and a lion-like face that looks directly at the viewer, a rarity in Egyptian art, but sometimes also used in art of a goddess who works closely with Bes, being Hathor. Bes often wears a feathered crown and can hold a tambourine or even brandish a sword. Other times he touches a sign of protection, a stylized knot called a Sa amulet. In an alabaster vase from Tutankhamun's tomb, Bes takes on an entirely lion form, perhaps to emphasize his royal patronage. Bes was a god who protected and perpetuated the family. He was a patron of music, dance, and partying, all the sorts of things that might get couples in the mood. When a woman got pregnant, Bes protected her, then assisted her when she went into labor. When the child was born, Bes protected the child as if they were the young Horus the child. This eventually gave rise to a protective magical image called a sippus in Greek. Made of wood, stone, or perhaps other materials, a sippus features Horus the child standing on top of crocodiles, holding snakes, scorpions, and other dangerous animals to symbolize his mastery over them. The face of Bes features protectively over young Horus as a reminder that the child god is never without his own divine guardian. And likewise, ordinary Egyptians hoped that they too would be protected by Bes and Horus. The famous Metternich stela, now in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, is actually a large stone sippus that includes healing spells, among them the story of Isis and the 7 scorpions. And the stela was meant for use in healing magic. Water would be poured over the sippus, where it could absorb the healing power of the image and the spells, and then be drunk by people seeking cures. Bes also protected Osiris and the dead. In a spell from the papyrus Harris, we read, "O dwarf of heaven, great dwarf, whose head is large, whose back is long, whose thighs are short, great support that reaches from heaven to Duat, Lord of the great corpse which rests in Yunu, the great living God who rests in Jeddu. Pay attention to so-and-so born of so-and-so. Guard him or her by day, watch him or her by night. Protect them as you protect Osiris." By the late Roman period, Bes had become a popular giver of oracles. Pilgrims from around the country visited shrines to Bes in Abydos and Dendera in particular. But these oracles drew suspicion from Roman authorities, who tried to outlaw them in 199 AD. Around 359 AD, a certain Demetrius of Alexandria sought the Bes oracle in Abydos and asked questions that seemed too political to Emperor Constantius II, and he ordered that Bes's oracle shrine in Abydos be shut down. Not surprisingly, early Coptic Christians called Bes a demon and attacked his shrines, particularly at Abydos and Dendera. But part of Bes's magical power endured. The amulet he sometimes wears in ancient art may have been a puppy's head, something that ethnographer Winifred S. Blackman recorded pregnant women in rural Egypt wearing as a protective talisman in the early 20th century. The goddess Tawret often appears alongside Bes, and in some written accounts, she is regarded as his wife. In more obscure references, Tawret has an ex-husband, being Set. This may be due to Tawret's physical attributes. She has the head of a hippo and tail of a crocodile, with lion paws and a woman's pregnant belly and breasts. Whereas Set embodies the destructive aspects of hippos and crocodiles, Tawret represents the fiercely protective nature of mother hippos, or of a mother crocodile over her nest. In the wild, these animals must sometimes fend off males of their own kind. Maybe that's why things didn't work out between Set and Tawret. Like Bes, Tawret could be found wherever mothers and children were, regardless of social status. Tawret protected women giving birth or nursing, which in ancient Egypt could last as long as 3 years. Like Bes, Tawret was invoked in healing spells. She could be seen resting a paw on the saw sign for protection, or else holding a candle, snakes to symbolize her power over them, or even a knife to drive away evil. Her name seems to trip up modern readers. It means, quite simply, great woman. Ta, or woman, and uret, the feminine form of great. The T ending was dropped by the time Greeks heard it, perhaps as taur, and recorded it as turis. An older name for Tawret was Ipi. This name lent itself to the 11th month in the Egyptian calendar, Apip, or perhaps Ipip. She might have had a feast day during this month, which roughly corresponds to late May through June on our calendar. The Marvel series Moon Knight portrayed Tawret as kind, friendly, and powerful, perhaps the only representation in that series that was anywhere close to accurate. Today we use the expression mama bear to evoke the idea of fierce motherly protection. Perhaps the ancient Egyptian equivalent would have been mama hippo, especially in the form of the ultimate mother hippo, Tawret. Thank you, as always, for watching as we kick off our 15th year of the Kemetic How-To Guide. And thanks to all our super stickers. You folks are awesome. Remember, like and subscribe to our channel, check us out on Patreon, and click over to our sister channel to see the animated short, Half-Assed Kingdom Parental Guidance, which recently won an award at the WRPN Women's International Film Festival. Woot! See you next month with more fun facts and how-tos. For the Kemetic How-To Guide, this is Sharon, wishing you Senebti. Enjoyed this video? Then be sure to hit like and subscribe to the Kemetic Independent channel. You can also buy my books on Lulu.com, and special thanks to all my Patreon supporters. Join us for updates, outtakes, and exclusive videos only on Patreon. Check the description for links.
Cannot believe what I'm seeing!